Hi everyone, this is Dawn here for a very short intro. I'm going to reshare a video that I posted last September of a painting I did in July 7th of last year when I was in Taos, New Mexico. I was in a silent kind of retreat for a few weeks, and one day I just felt really drawn to paint with a very small palette, really rapidly and really emotionally on a canvas what it had felt like, all the past lives and all the ages of the bondage and feeling chained, and particularly the divine feminine, divine masculine feeling both chained to one another but in love, but shackled and held down and burdened and persecuted and bound, all of this. And today is about freedom. It's been a weird day for me, and it's been this has been coming up though, this idea that we are breaking free. And in the last video I made, I talked about like holding this space, and that just finally came to me. I was a little slow. It came back to me this afternoon, and I just realized, I think what this is, kind of about is that the bondage to 3D is still in place, as we know, and to various structures and systems and various people, groups, places, things, substances, etc., for the masculine, also for some of the feminine, myself to be included. I had like a heavy coffee day this morning, and then, here's my dinner. Yeah, it's been a good day, but but have felt the roller coaster, oh my gosh, so I think there's a lot of clearing going on for many, and we need to remember that we are on this journey together, and that we got to hold that space. It's really critical right now. Also, I feel like this is even more than just our divine counterparts. It feels very much like, that spiritual warfare kind of energy going on today. So anyway, I just wanted to reshare this post. Sorry for the long intro here. Without further ado is the poem and the painting. Hold the space. Stay in that place of knowing that you are free. For freedom, we were created. We were created free. We were born free. We are meant to live free of all entanglements, free of all obligation, free of all that would bind us. Good morning, everyone. Today's poem is called Cut Now This Yoke, and it was inspired by a painting I did, which I want to share with you. I use art, I call it soul essence art, much of what I do as a means of expressing what the memories and the knowings that I carry deep in my soul, and to really connect with myself. And sometimes that looks really pretty and amazing and beautiful and magical and mystical, and other times it looks like you would never want to put that on the page. And that's what this painting is. It's called Cut Now This Yoke. And when I set out to paint, I wanted to paint my my own feeling of a part of my journey through time, and this does relate to the person that I see as my counterpart. And so this is what I painted on the page, and just wanted to speak to it for just a moment, so you can see this. They're walking through this landscape. It's just basically gray and this muddy orange red color I used to paint it. And I kept wanting to add other colors, and I kept getting the very direct guidance. No, stay with this. And so
The first image that came to me when I was painting this was this heavy, heavy, heavy chains, and like it couldn't be unlocked. It was just, you were stuck, and it was through just forever, for ages and ages. And so there was a masculine and a feminine representation, and they're, bolted down. They're both wearing these heavy chains, and there's obviously some angelic energy here. But there's definitely the feeling of entrapment. And in the background, there's this sort of like sun, and it's almost like you don't know where you are, right? Like if you're the person in this painting, you're not sure where you are in time and space. And you feel resigned, confined. There's just a sense of entrapment. And it feels like it's forever. It's bondage, really. It's bondage is what it is. And, there's a bit of bewilderment and a loss of identity, and a loss of the full self, the whole self. And I drew the cross in the background, just so you know, as a representation of my own journey, which relates to past memories. And, even in this field here, you can see like these, to me, it was like these were beings that were just trapped, and the entire landscape was filled with this gray, these gray cloud shapes. They're more circular, but cloud shapes, and then the dark sun. So that is Cut Now This Yoke. And of course the poem came from my response to the painting, which is like, enough of this. Enough of this. We can free ourselves. We are not meant to feel like this. No one in this life is intended to feel like this. So I don't care if you are, in terms of relationship, if you're single, married, if you are in a karmic relationship, if you are twin flame in union, I don't care if you are on your own journey and intend to stay on your own journey. You are never, ever meant to experience a life of confinement and bondage. That is not what the flow of this universe is about. It is about love. It is about belonging to one another in the larger sense. And most of all, it is about that reunion with yourself and belonging to yourself. So here is the poem. A little bit heavy today, sorry. The poem is Cut Now This Yoke. Cut now this yoke from your neck and see yourself unbound and free. You need not bow before me or stand in sorrow's stead. Simply drop your heavy chains and choose a whole new way to be. With only love, with a grateful heart, I would place this crown upon your head. So that's the poem, and I wanted to add one more thing, and that is that we can be that to each other. And we can do that energetically. We can send the feeling of gratitude to those who have been in bondage with us in various situations. We can send the feeling of a grateful heart for that person serving as either a catalyst or maybe not. Maybe it was just a shared pain, and that's really a downer. And yet there is value that has come because we are that no more, and we see that through the contrast. So as much as possible, give thanks for everything and move on and walk in the way of wholeness and freedom, and know you are free, and you are light, and you are life, and you are love. I'll see you next time.